No one cares what you've been doing anywhere in the world,
No.
selling real estate.
You can do anything, you know? So I feel like anyone that's starting 25 years, 5 years, 2 years experience, it doesn't matter. And trying to do sales the UK sales way, when in fact, in Dubai, people like to be told blunt. They like to be very direct with what you do and how you do your business. A lot of people get sold a dream, I feel like, when they move to Dubai.
99%.
Right, literally, it's all picnics and rainbows.
Was you one of them? Hi, this is Ashley. This is
guys.
Olga. And this is the first time I have a guest on my YouTube channel. So Ashley, tell us a bit about yourself and why you're sitting here and what's the view behind.
Wow, okay, so first of all, morning everyone, hello. A bit about myself, my name's Ashley, been in real estate now for 21 years.
Hey.
Yes, a bit of a veteran from the UK. Did real estate for 10 years in the UK, obviously 11 years here in Dubai.
So when you moved here, which year?
I moved here 2014.
Perfect.
Yeah.
1 year older than me.
Yeah, there you go. See, there you go. Still looking great. But yeah, my real estate career has pretty much started from being a junior negotiator. Went to being a branch manager within 3 years. Then went to senior branch manager, running branches around the UK and London. And then I moved here, came here on holiday, loved it, and moved.
And let me guess, you just started again with a branch manager, or how was that?
So, what do you mean? Sorry. So
When you just moved to Dubai, how?
Yeah, so I went from being an area kind of manager right back to being a broker. So went straight back to kind of basics, back in the field, back in the trenches.
No one cares what you've been doing anywhere in the world,
No.
selling real estate. It's just
Different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
So you have to start all over again. Understand the Dubai market and the way that people move. The business that's done here is so different than anywhere else, especially in the UK anyway. There's a lot more red tape, a lot more corporate in the UK. Here it's a bit more like the Wild West. So you've got to understand how to do business with different types of people.
So today, guys, one of the followers from YouTube asked me to ask Ashley, and maybe myself as well, a couple of questions which are bugging you if you're just Googling how to become a Dubai real estate agent, or maybe already make a move and just trying to find the best company to work. So we have pen, we don't have pen, we just have paper.
Some questions.
So, what tips would you give to someone who has a 25 years of international sales experience, non-real estate,
Okay.
moving in Dubai, trying to start their career in Dubai real estate?
Do you know what? I feel like sales is sales. I feel like wherever you've been, sales is pretty much the same ingredients. It's all about learning the product and learning the way that things work and learning processes. Regardless of what kind of sales industry you've been in and for however long, once you understand the Dubai market and the way that we move here in terms of real estate and the processes, you can do anything, you know? So I feel like anyone that's starting 25 years, 5 years, 2 years experience, it doesn't matter. Definitely do it, take the step, because I feel like this is such a great market to work in. And who wouldn't want to work in the Dubai real estate market, especially right now, given the market's so hot?
Yeah.
So for me, it's all about making sure you can transfer those skills that you've learnt from whatever industry that you've been in and use them in real estate.
And I have an interesting question. Which skills do you think from this 25 years of international sales career will not work in Dubai?
I feel like you can't be too corporate.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I feel like with Dubai, you've got to be so agile. There's so many different types of people that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis that you really have to understand the person that you're dealing with, which means you've got to be agile. You know, you've got to understand what their needs are. Yes, that's kind of the same as sales wherever you go. But I feel like in Dubai, it's different. I almost had to reset my button and start all over again when I moved to Dubai, because I was trying to do things the UK way and trying to do sales the UK sales way. When in fact, in Dubai, people like to be told blunt. They like to be very direct with what you do and how you do your business. So you really have to be adaptable to your surroundings and like I said, be agile to the market.
And I think that very important is to not expect any loyalty from just literally anyone, from your clients, from your colleagues. The only loyalty from yourself towards,
Correct.
being consistent.
Yes.
Rather than that, there is nothing like loyalty here in Dubai real estate compared to UK market.
Listen, UK market, when it comes to a landlord or a seller, they walk into the high street, walk into your branch, shake your hand, give you a property. It's always exclusive, or 99.9% of the time it's always exclusive listing, because that's what's expected. And then they stick with you through thick and thin until you get that property sold or rented. Here, it's an open market. So there is no loyalty, like you're saying with your sales and with your landlords, even buyers and tenants. There is no loyalty here. So you literally just have to make sure that you're doing the best that you possibly can for yourself to get the results that you need.
You stand out being not just another salesman trying to pitch features and benefits, and you just really get into what the person really needs.
Yes.
So the right question, doing the right qualification, because the biggest mistake that each and every agent in Dubai is doing is not understanding why the client is selling, why the client is buying. Oh, just because he wants to make some money, right?
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I see it so many times with brokers, and I've been on the sales floor, been sitting next to brokers doing work, and the phone rings, and they have a very basic conversation with their clients, not even qualification. They're literally like, is the property available? Yes, it is. I can be there at 2:00. And that's pretty much all the call that they're having. They're not taking time to qualify their client, find out what their needs are, why they're looking to invest or looking to move. So again, and then they wonder why they get demotivated when they don't get the results that they want, what they expect.
Because they're just, presenters. They're just pushing whatever they have rather than understand what the person needs and give him that specific product.
100%. I always say you're like an order taker.
Right? Like in Starbucks.
Like Starbucks. I love Starbucks as well. But it's literally like taking orders, and they're not thinking about the actual process as to why.
Okay. We're not going to talk about the company you are heading now.
No.
Yeah, but that's definitely, if you would like, by the way, to connect with Ashley and ask him how you can be under his mentorship, we're going to leave the details and his contacts in the description of this video, so do not hesitate to do that. And now we are jumping to the next question. How someone will choose the right company to work? What are the red flags? What are the white flags or yellow flags?
For me, I can only look at it from my point of view as well. When I was looking for a company, I always do my due diligence, okay? So I like to see who the management is, first of all. I like to see what type of people are working for the company. I like to look at their socials to see how active they are and what type of content they are, what kind of culture they're creating as a company. They're kind of some of the main points that I would always look at. I've even gone as far as to speak to some of the colleagues or brokers that work at the companies, because they'll always give you the truthful kind of insight as to how the company actually is. A lot of people get sold a dream, I feel like, when they move to Dubai.
99%.
Right, literally, it's all picnics and rainbows.
Was you one of them?
I was one of them. Literally, I was told you can be a millionaire, in a year, or not quite a millionaire, but you make lots of money within 6 months, and it's really easy, and the market's this
just
and that.
Just show the property is amazing. You're just like, oh wow.
Listen, honestly, I was sold a dream. When I actually got to doing my job, I was like, this is actually harder than what I thought. So I always break it down, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I like to make sure that everyone knows exactly what they're walking into, so they can then decide for themselves if it's going to be right for them. This job isn't easy. It's super, super hard. And most companies or recruiters out there will sell a dream and not actually break it down as to how it actually is. Red flags for me is companies that will offer maybe a basic salary, because as we know, in most cases, it's unsustainable for companies to pay X amount of commission salary every single month without having that revenue coming in. So companies that normally do offer these basic salaries, they might pay you 1 or 2 months, that's it. Or maybe they pay you 1 or 2 months and the company shuts down. Can I tell you an example of this?
Yes, sure.
Literally, one of our brokers we just hired 2 weeks ago. She was employed from the UK to move over. She was working in property in London, spoke to this company, and they promised her the world, as they do. She's then moved over, beginning of Jan, she moved over and started with this company. They were paying her basic salary. After the first week, she realized that not many people are coming to the office and it's really quiet and there's not many listings online, and there's just a lot of red flags were coming up. The second week, the office was dead, okay? The CEO then said to her, if you want to look for another job, you can do if you want to.
Have they processed your visa already?
No, so they haven't processed her visa, given her any training. So all she was told for her training was to sit and research on Property Finder.
Okay.
She's like, I don't know what I'm researching, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here for 2 weeks doing nothing. Then it got to the third week. Pretty much the CEO told her that there's a lot of problems in the company and that they're not going to be able to pay her, and he suggests that she looks for another job.
So she never got paid, she never got trained.
No.
And she never got any environment which will support her.
And she left her good job in the UK, left her job, left her family, her home, sold her possessions, moved over here, okay, to a company that doesn't provide visa, training, or even a company.
So let's then sum it up. First of all, definitely it's going to be an environment that you can look at the social media.
Yes.
You can talk to people who are already working there. LinkedIn is a beautiful platform for
Great
that.
platform.
Maybe someone already left the company, so what is the reason they actually left?
Yes.
Then look up at the quantity of listings.
Agreed. And the quality of listings as well.
On the portals. So you will understand, will you be able just to generate a lot of listings within this company
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
Then training. That's a crucial part, right?
Very crucial.
If they're going to tell you, or we're going to do the training, ask who will be doing the training, which person, and it will be fantastic if you could request maybe to look at a potential training schedule. And if you will see CRM, property finder, how to put the listings, and that's not an actual training, that's just an onboarding.
Yeah.
Dealing with, choosing between, let's say, the developer and the brokerage. What do you think for someone who is just fresh?
Okay, I mean, it really depends what type of person you are. If you're working for a developer, it's kind of, I always find it's very reactive because you're sitting there waiting for leads to come to you.
And what if they're not coming?
Not coming, then what do? You know, you've got to pretty much rely on the developer or the company to provide you leads. So if you are going to go down that route, I would always make sure and pick a company or developer that's well known in the market, that's got a good reputable name, that you're going to get the results that you need, and you've got a good product to sell.
Yeah.
You know, there's no point working for a developer. If you're getting a salary, yes, that's great, but if you're not getting leads and it's a bad product, then what's the point? For me, if you're working for an agency, then obviously you're more of a go-getter. Okay, you're building your desk is your business. You're building your own business within a business. And I like this way because you can actually really kind of feel like you are running something and building something. So there's two different sides of it. If you're a go-getter and a hunter-gatherer, agency is definitely for you. If you're more kind of reactive and you kind of want to sit back a little bit and want the business to come to you, then developer.
To be honest, even for the developer, from what I know, the recent rules, if you're not selling for 2 or 3 months, up to the KPIs the developer is giving you, you're out. No one's going to just keep paying you salary just because you're a good guy.
Yes.
So jump into the next question. What to expect in the first 3 months, 6 months maybe?
Okay.
If you're working in the agency.
In agency. So we always like to put our brand new brokers into leasing. Okay. So leasing is pretty much like college before university. It's where you come to learn the tricks of the trade. You can make some silly mistakes. You're not going to lose too much money from the mistakes that you make. And it's all gearing you up to move into sales, where that's university, the big money is at. Now, leasing, the reason why we do this is because we want you to earn money. Okay, leasing, you should be really closing deals in your first 6 to 8 weeks. Expectations, again, in terms of money, I would expect a leasing broker, once they're fully set up, so maybe 3 months down the line, 4 or 5 months down the line, you should be taking home at least 10 to 15,000 dirhams, okay, on average a month. Obviously, you're going to have high months. I mean, you've got leasing brokers and then they've done double that in a month. But really, minimum you want to be looking at is 10,000 dirhams as a leasing broker, new leasing broker in the market.
Specifically taking in consideration that 1-bedroom apartment in Medina is now around 120,000 dirhams, and you are having 5% of that. Usually it's a deal just for you, you do not share it with any other agent.
Agreed.
What training avenues, rather than the company and training, would you recommend or do you know exist in Dubai?
So there's many different avenues you can go down. Obviously, every broker has to take their RERA exam. So, most companies will pay for you to go and have that 5-day course at RERA. Some companies just make you do the tests. Some companies will actually pay to take you to the land department to do a 5-day course. So you get to learn all the back ends of the real estate industry, all the rules and regulations, all these sorts of things. So you can do that. There's many networking groups that you can join. When I first moved to Dubai, I joined a networking group. It was great for me because I got to meet a lot of people from different industries. I then got referrals as well, and it helped me build my brand and help build my business. You can, as we discussed yesterday, you can pay for sponsored ads. You can pay for different other networking groups that you can kind of get yourselves into the market. There's many different ways you can do.
Yeah, and I would say if you expect the company just to handle all of the training and all of the leads and everything for you, that's not going to happen. Just imagine you are, specifically if you're coming with no Dubai real estate experience, you are someone who's been employed to work for the clinic, but you're not a doctor yet.
Yes.
But the clinic going to give you some training, but the clinic will expect you to kind of learn on your own pace and potentially pay for your own leads, your own education, your own social media promotion.
Agreed.
Because you cannot expect that from the business. If you are coming fully settled, bringing 2 million a year as a successful agent already on the market, then the company gonna provide you with whatever you want. But for you to build up to that level, you have to invest in yourself. And the questions I always ask, and all the trainings that I'm doing is like, how much money have you invested in your own high income skills last year? And guess what the answer is?
It's going to be probably not very much.
It's probably going to say, me invested?
Exactly.
How do you mean, Olga? What should I?
Do you know what? We also incentivize our brokers to obviously generate their own business, their own leads, and they get higher percentage commission for that as well. So if they generate their own leads and they close a deal, we pay them a higher commission because they've generated that lead themselves. And that can be through their socials, it can be from paid campaigns. There's many ways in which a broker can build their network and generate them leads. You also want to become kind of self-sufficient, don't you? In terms of your network and your business. One of my old brokers was extremely good at building her own network and self-generating herself leads. And she earned a lot more money that way. She actually didn't do many deals from the portals. It was all mostly from her own network and own sponsored ads.
I remember that story, which I absolutely loved, and I hope you will benefit from that as well.
I know what you're going to say.
When your agent got a listing right before the weekend, and I believe he agreed with the seller that he will have to sell it during the weekend, so he gave an absolutely unbelievable commitment. So it pushes him to the edge. And
so we had a broker, as Olga was saying, broker got a listing, basically had it exclusive for a weekend or a long weekend. He promised he could get results and sell this property within this weekend. He had no internal buyers and we had no buyers as a company. So what he did is he went to the local mall where there was a big brand real estate company in this mall, walked straight in, straight onto the sales floor and said, guys, I've got this listing. It's a great price. Who's got me a buyer? Okay. 2 or 3 agents stood up, had buyers for him. They proceeded to do a viewing over the weekend, got an offer in, accepted, done, deal.
I think this is the number one skill that you should develop if you don't yet have it to be successful in Dubai real estate market.
It's thinking outside the box, and what most brokers don't do is they don't think outside the box. They expect the leads to come to them. They get annoyed when they don't get leads. But I'm like, what are you doing to try and get yourself leads? What are you doing to further yourself? What are you doing to be proactive in the market? In most cases, brokers are still reactive. They're waiting for it to come to them. Get out there. Find other way that you can get your business. That's how the most successful brokers make it in Dubai.
Perfect. So if you enjoy the session, and I mean, I did it. Did you?
Yeah, I did too. It's great.
So do not hesitate to drop us more questions so we can help you to either move to Dubai or to progress in your sales career and make these millions that you were expecting to earn when you maybe consider moving to Dubai.
100%. I think it starts with that first step.
See you in the next one.
Take care.